How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
And this is our review of Fantastic Four First Steps. We're going to be completely spoiler-free. If we have some spoilers, we'll save it for the end, but we'll make sure to let you know if we do get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Pratik, probably most anticipated movie for me. Love the Fantastic Four in general. You've been anticipating this not so much.
No,
but...
I think the Fantastic Four as a property are a really, really hard one to do well, as evidenced by the fact that I would argue none of the adaptations we've gotten up to this point have been particularly well done.
You know what's crazy? I agree with the latter, but I feel like this is a property that, like, if you're familiar with like the comics or anything, it seems like it's just begging to be adapted. Like, well, there's so many.
It's just hard.
Good,
it's just hard to do. And with that said, and I think this is probably the best place to start. I thought that this movie nailed the Fantastic Four and like the chemistry and relationship between them. I thought, in my opinion, their interaction is the highlight of this movie and the reason to go watch it.
I completely agree. Let's just end it right there.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. No.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest highlight of this movie is it nails the Fantastic Four. I was skeptical of Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, even Pedro Pascal as Reed.
I was skeptical for basically all the casting.
Yeah.
Like, I like all of those actors individually, and the whole time I was just like, I don't know if I see them as that person.
I don't know if it's because they went through like casting for like a year, it seemed like, and they were like, oh, Margot Robbie's gonna be, or Emma Stone, and like all these people are like flying through. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be good. When they finally landed on a cast, I was like, I guess, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to prove it to me. And the trailers didn't really sell me on them or their chemistry.
No, I agree.
But this movie will. This is the Fantastic Four. This is a family, first and foremost. People who feel like they know each other and they feel like, like real people.
I thought that one of the ways that the movie one of the things the movie did right that helps kind of communicate that is we just kind of skip over the origin story. Like, we get dropped into this world with the Fantastic Four fully fleshed out.
Which arguably, does everybody know the Fantastic Four's origin? Like, I feel like they could have given us an origin story.
We get the origin story, but like it's in the middle.
Right.
You know? So like there's just like, just in case, here's the origin story. Sure. But like we're just like we're not gonna like do this whole build up to what we all know is coming. It's like, here's the Fantastic Four, boom, go.
Similar to if you guys saw Superman that came out this year, you're thrown into this world. It's a brand new universe. It's been going for a few years. You just kind of dive in. I don't know if necessarily this movie handles that aspect as well as it should.
I think. I thought it did. I think you probably disagree. Yeah. I think what
it just felt a little jarring. It took me the first like act of this movie, not to cut you off, sorry. The first act of this movie, not even the first act, that's unfair. The first 10 minutes of this movie felt like it was jarring for me, just being in this world and everything that was happening. I love the set design. I love it's all right. I got to get into my big gripe with this movie.
All right, hold on. Before you get
Go ahead.
I think similar to Superman, where like at the beginning of the movie, I was kind of struggling to like figure out my place in this world. I think this movie wants to impress on you the Fantastic Four's standing in this world. So they kind of throw a lot of accomplishments, there's a lot of Easter eggs that kind of help establish who they are. There's like a lot of quick montages. Like, there's a lot of world building that happens in a very, very short amount of time. And I think that can feel
lazy.
Not lazy. I thought it can feel a little fast.
A little forced is kind of how I felt.
I disagree. Yeah. I don't know. I really liked it.
It worked for you.
It worked for me. I like the fact that we're getting straight to like, all right, hey, like, we're going to get you up to speed on what you need to know before we get to like the real story we're telling.
Yeah.
And like, I like that it didn't linger too much on like, all right, we know these characters are new. Let's try to like get an introduction. It's just like, look, this is where they are. Catch up, let's go.
You say it didn't linger, and like maybe I have two big flaws with this movie, and this is one of them. This movie felt like it was afraid to linger. It was afraid to hold on to any moment for more than a second. Like it's got it sets up something really cool or shows you something really cool, and then it just kind of goes to the next thing before or like, even if it does fully flesh out whatever it's trying to do, it doesn't breathe. It doesn't give you enough time to breathe with almost anything in this movie. And so while I did like what I was seeing or what was happening, it's just the pacing of this movie is too quick for the first at least 2 acts, and it kind of slows down. Pacing is another one of my gripes, but I want to get into my big gripe with this movie. The fact that they nail the Fantastic Four, but they don't give them any supporting cast or surrounding anything.
See, I think when you have 4 leads, I don't know that you need this giant supporting cast. I know
you
that
do if you want to make it feel. To me, anyway, it just felt like they were in a bubble. Like it just didn't feel. It takes away the realism. Like
So I guess
Yeah.
this is where I'll disagree strongly with you. I thought that the movie did a really good job of nailing a retro futuristic world set in like the 1960s. I thought that you get like the world that it drops you in to me is like when you see the old footage of like Walt Disney talking about Tomorrowland and like that kind of thing, this feels like what he's envisioning. Where like it's still like very rooted in like a 1950s 1960s like time period, but with like like monorails and like the occasional
the
like
set and the world and the design of everything. That's not my issue. It's the people.
But see, I think the people are all like in like they fit that time period.
Here's what I'll say.
I just think it's one of those things where if you watch anything, like if you watch a newsreel from that time period, like these feel like people from that newsreel.
But when the Fantastic Four are the only characters that don't feel like they're like. Everyone feels like they're just like they could have been mindless ants and it wouldn't have made a difference. They just feel alone in this world and it makes the world feel so empty because maybe it's because everyone in the Fantastic Four is very intelligent, even Johnny, and it's like everyone else is clearly not. So when you contrast them against each other, it's almost like why would I want to hear from anybody here? Because they're so much dumber than the Fantastic Four, they have nothing to offer, so that's why they don't cut to anybody. I don't know. For me, it just the world feels empty and hollow. And for like this is such a good script. Like you can hear it, you can see it on screen. This is a great script, and it's like it's edited to hell. Like I don't know it. What'd you like about this particular?
I think we'll just have to agree to disagree on the world aspect of it.
Okay.
I thought if we're talking about some of like the character gripes, I think one of the things that I really appreciated the Fantastic Four. I like the casting. I like their chemistry. I think the thing that I don't really get from this movie, and again, like I don't think it's necessarily a drawback, but I understand how each member of the family like fits into the family, but I don't think this movie does a great job of giving you the things that make them distinctly them. Like especially when I compare it to the the early Fantastic Four, and like I'm thinking about
like the Chris Evans Fantastic Four.
The Chris Evans Fantastic Four, and I'm thinking about, and granted they had like 2 movies, and I'm probably like merging those 2 movies in my head when I talk about this, but I had a good sense of what like made each one of those individuals unique characters and unique people, and I didn't necessarily get like strong feelings about each one as an individual character. I understand them more.
You don't think that's connected to the fact that you don't get to see how they are with other people, like real people? Like,
no, not necessarily. I just don't think this movie gave them much to do.
Like you don't know they're standing in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
but we know they're standing like as a group, and we kind of sort of get. They tried to do that a little bit with the Thing.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah.
But I don't know. To me, it's a minor drawback. It's a minor drawback because I think the plus of nailing the family dynamic overcomes some of that drawback, in my opinion.
You'd think that I'd be happier about like they nailed the Fantastic Four. Even if they didn't nail the world or the movie in general, I should be happy, and that's probably why I'm going to end up scoring this pretty high. Or compared to like how I'm talking about this movie, but I don't know. I guess you have Matt Shakman who did WandaVision. I love WandaVision. I guess my hype level was too high. I liked the trailers.
So.
This movie just like I don't know. Every scene had the potential to be great, and it just like never got there for me. I don't know.
All right, let's pivot really fast.
Sure.
Let's talk villains. Silver Surfer, Galactus. What did you think?
I didn't love either one, honestly. I didn't love either one. I thought that their explanation for Galactus and how Galactus works was great, but some of the CG and like
all right, ignoring the looks CG. For a second because we'll get there.
Well, I think you
more as characters, more as like credible threats. What did you think?
I just think that the look of Galactus is such an aspect of like his making him a credible threat because he's pretty much only a big physical threat. That's pretty much all Galactus is. at least in this movie.
I think that I thought that especially in our first introduction to Galactus, I thought they did a good job of showcasing how far above the Fantastic Four he is in terms of like power levels as far as threats. Like the idea of them not even being able to grasp like kind of how big of a threat he is, and him being able to overcome their initial resistance to him, I thought that was really well done. I thought they did a great job of giving us the lore of Silver Surfer and Galactus in a way that makes it really easy to digest while still like communicating everything that needs to be communicated and not like dragging us down in exposition. I thought that was really well done. I think where some of your gripes is more around the third act and some of the resolution. And I get it, but I don't think it bothers me because they did such a good job of setting it up.
The setup was good, but like you mentioned, how it concludes kind of cuts the legs from under it for me, and I don't know. It is built up great, but like,
I guess it's one of those things where like even like coming from a comic background, the fact that the Fantastic Four defeat Galactus the way that they do like doesn't make a ton of sense even in the comics. Like that shouldn't happen.
Sure.
So the fact that we're having to stretch some of our bounds of believability at times in this movie doesn't bother me because I'm kind of used to it.
I guess, and maybe this might get into spoiler territory. I don't think so. This movie sets up so many ways it could end, and I just feel like the way it does end with Galactus was kind of underwhelming for me. Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know that we can go more without.
But that being said, when you set up Galactus to be this great, and then it ends in that way, it kind of it takes away from how great the setup was for me. So yeah.
All right. Again, I feel like all of these are it's just like agree to disagree because it didn't bother me. Like these are things that don't bother me.
I'm definitely in the minority. I feel like people are loving this movie. The audience that we saw this with seemed to also pretty much love everything that eating this movie up.
Let's talk about something that I think we can both agree
the CGI
was terrible. Yeah, the CGI.
Yeah, people are saying the CG in this movie is good. It's not good.
It's not to cut you off, but I think this movie it's one where it's almost like, and I think you could argue that it's more than just the CG where this applies, but this is a movie that feels like it's picking its spots. Like it's like, hey, we're gonna do some things really, really well. Yeah. Like we're gonna like some of the character models.
Yeah, the character model for the Thing looks great, but then when he's walking away, it's like I'm watching, I don't even know, PS1. He's walking away, and the background is the compositing. I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough to really tell you.
There's one scene, kind of earlier on in the movie where they're exiting the Fantastic Car, and like it almost looked like
they all jump out.
Like it almost looked like they teleported out, and I was just like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah,
I'm like, why did it look like that? Why did it choose that? There's also
I'll just say Galactus, or
no, it wasn't Galactus so much that bothered me. It was the CGI baby.
Oh yeah. Okay, so maybe this is just my knowledge of babies on film sets, but to have a baby on a set, they have to be a certain age, and I think you just can't have a baby that young on set, especially doing this type of stuff.
Sure. I mean, there's moments where they need the baby to act, and you can't you can't actually ask. Like, I get it. You can't.
It's not the worst CGI baby I feel like I've seen in a movie.
No, because the Flash exists, but it's like, but the fact that I have to go straight there.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, you're right. It didn't. I guess the CG, by that point in the movie, the CG had already kind of let me down so much that fair enough. That I was like, oh, okay, so you kind of have to forgive the CG in this movie.
Going back to the character models, I thought the first time we see the Silver Surfer and we get they kind of zoom in on and we get this trailing shot that kind of goes up from shoulder
and she's not talking, and then they cut to her talking, and it's not the same CG model that we had just gotten. It's not crisp at all.
Yeah, because again, they pick their spots. They're like, all right, the first time we see the Silver Surfer, it's got to look great. And that looked, I was just like, is this real? Is this actually there? Is this a statue? And then,
Also,
It's
not CG, but some very noticeable ADR in this movie. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but like I'm not gonna point to specific scenes, but there's at least 3 times in this movie where I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? Like they're clearly not saying what's being said. So yeah,
Yeah. I didn't notice the ADR, but yeah, some of the CGI specifically in like motion was just a little. Ooh.
That's key. The CGI in motion was like, oh, this looks great, and then they would start walking away or something. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, if you see still images from this movie, you'll be like, whoa, this looks incredible.
Also, if you were worried that like Reed's stretching stuff, they're not showing enough in the trailers, they don't show enough in the movie either. So I'll just say that.
I mean, I don't know. Another one of those things where like Reed's actual superpower is just being really smart. So
sure,
you know,
yeah, and they nailed that aspect.
I thought they nailed that aspect. Really, like it's one where
because there's not enough just really smart people in the MCU, you know.
But it's one like they nailed it to the point where when you hear them talk in interviews about like, oh yeah, he's gonna be like a leader of the Avengers like in the next movie, like I was just like, huh, how's that gonna work? And like after watching this movie, I totally get it.
For sure.
Totally get it, and I was skeptical about it beforehand. So
he's just they do a good job of showing him as just like a leader, for sure.
Yeah, again, everyone's like role in the family here is exceptionally well done.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of
I don't even think we need to get into spoilers. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Do you want to score it? You want me to go first?
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go first.
All right.
I'm thinking 6. I do think once I see it again with lower expectations, it'll probably jump up to like a 7, maybe an 8. I really liked the cast overall. They won me over. Like I said, this movie has like a solid script. The story itself is good. I just feel like it's not paced well. I don't know. I can't tell if it's the editing or what, but it's got this like shiny ball that it wants to show you, and then but like you look at it and it's on to the next one, and you just don't get a chance to like really live with or appreciate any moment because it's just going by too quick. And the moments that they decide to leave you with, I just didn't do it for me. So I don't know. I was really excited for this. I love the Fantastic Four in general. This, it was an adaptation. Go see it. Go see it if you're excited for it. But not a hard recommend for me. 6 out of 10, maybe 7.
Okay, so I think watching this movie, it's really easy to compare it to the last superhero movie we saw, which was Superman.
I thought we were going to be doing that the entire time. I can't believe we were.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't want to, but
they're weirdly so similar.
There are a lot of times where you can draw some parallels. But with that said, someone comes to you and they're like, I have time to see one of these movies.
It's gonna depend on the person and their taste, honestly. Because I can't say like I probably preferred Superman to this, but like I don't know. I don't know how rewatchable Superman is compared to this. Like maybe I'll get more out of this the second time. But yeah, it's probably Superman. I'm gonna say if you're gonna see one superhero movie this summer, go see Superman. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Which is crazy because I'm probably a bigger Fantastic Four fan than I am a Superman fan.
You were hating on Superman so much before it came out.
I wouldn't say I was hating on it, but it was like my number 2 most anticipated. Go
on. Okay.
Just give it your 10 out of 10.
No, it's definitely not that. Like, there's definitely some flaws, but I thought the chemistry worked really well. I thought the script was tight. I completely disagree with you on the pacing. I thought this movie moved really, really well.
Yeah, disagree.
Yeah. All in all, I think I'm going to give it an 8. I really enjoyed it. I thought there's a lot of nods to the comics that I really appreciated, but like not in the way that like the recent MCU films have done, where they've kind of like hit you over the head with fan service. It's just like very quick
like,
things in the back.
Yeah,
like which I like because like that's the kind of thing that I'd rather they do. But it's one where this is a world where I would love to see more of. And we're hurtling towards Doomsday, so I don't know how much more we're going to get, or
that's also an aspect of it. We didn't get enough of this world. But I feel like for this to be the Doomsday is next. Like I wanted to live in this world a little longer. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Again, it's drawing that like comparison to Superman, where like in both cases we get dropped into this world where like stuff is happening.
Yeah.
But in the case of Superman, we kind of have this like, all right, I'm gonna get a few movies to like live in this world and get this fleshed out.
I wasn't satisfied with that, and this is like, damn it, 2 in a row now.
Yeah, and this one you get dropped in, but with this knowledge that Doomsday and Secret Wars are coming, so it's just like I don't know how much time I'll have here. But
yeah, that's also the thing. I think if you're going in this like, oh, how's this gonna set up Doomsday? That might also hinder your enjoyment to it.
yeah. You just have to appreciate the story it's trying to tell, and I think it tells it really well. To me, it's an 8.
This isn't a spoiler. This is like a fully contained. If you've never seen a Marvel movie or a superhero movie or
you could
MCU,
walk into
anything.
you could walk into this one. Actually, you probably should walk into this one like just fully.
I
fresh.
wonder if that's what Marvel is, or like Kevin Feige and MCU. That's what they're banking on. Is people will walk into this as their first MCU movie, and like this could bring in a whole new audience.
I don't know how many people will do that, but honestly,
You could, though.
But you very well could. You're right,
for sure.
Yeah,
and I think if that
absolutely.
word of mouth gets out enough, maybe it'll work.
Maybe
Okay.
who knows?
All right. We weren't too far off on that. I thought we were gonna be further
Six
apart.
and 8.
Yeah,
I mean, you know that's as far apart as we get these days.
yeah, for sure.
I don't remember what we're doing next week.
We got something for sure. We do have something.
There's definitely stuff.
Yeah.
There's definitely stuff.
We'll see you guys.
See ya.